Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fans of Speed Racing Network. My name is Jake Rowell. I'm here with my broadcast partner, Dean Brummett. We are bringing you tonight the Clippy 125 at Martinsville Speedway for the Speed Racing Network's Truck Series. Dean Brummett, man, we had an off week. We're back after Easter. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good, buddy. The week off, I think, was really, really awesome for a lot of drivers and probably our fans. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful, happy, and safe holiday and got to spend a lot of time with their families. And, tonight they get to come back to their favorite Wednesday show, whether it be live or whether it be streamed. It's everybody's favorite here with the Speed Racing Network Truck Series, Jake.
Absolutely. You know it is. It's going to be 125 laps tonight here at Martinsville Speedway. These drivers are going to get 2 fast repairs, man. I think they're going to be used up very, very quickly here at this half-mile track, hence the name, the Clippy 125. If you're unfamiliar with Martinsville Speedway, it is very similar to a Paperclip. Got long straightaways and small, tight little corners to get you back going down the back and the front stretch, Dean. This is going to be action-packed, man. We are in for a treat tonight here with SRN's Truck Series race.
Yeah, buddy. I tell you what, Martinsville is, such a cool track. It's probably different than anything anybody ever really thinks of. When you think of any type of auto racing, it's always going to go through and it's high speeds and super dangerous conditions. And Martinsville's a little different, Jake. Tonight it's going to be a lot about handling and a lot about track position. You're going to get down to probably about maybe 120, possibly 130 miles an hour on the straightaway. You're going to woe these trucks up all the way down to around about 50 miles an hour trying to get through the corners. The hardest thing about this place is getting woed up and getting going again. I mean, these trucks they're big, they're heavy, and I think, like you said tonight, Jake, you're going to see a lot of action out here on track, and it's definitely going to test these drivers' patience for sure. And the bad part is with trying to test patience, I mean, we're coming to the end of our regular season, Jake. Playoffs are coming up, and for some of these guys, they just don't have the time to show that patience out here on track.
You're definitely right there, Dean. I've been to almost every single NASCAR track that's on the circuit. Got to say, Martinsville is up there. It's definitely in my top 3. It's just something about this place. It creates great racing. And, Dean, this place is known for their hot dogs. They've got good snacks for all the fans. So we'll dive down, we'll get you informed here about our league here. Talked about, obviously, our race tonight, Martinsville. Our season long is 20 weeks here on the schedule. Every single driver, Dean, they've got those fixed set up. So you know what that means. Everyone's got the same truck, so to speak. And it's all about the difference the drivers can make in these vehicles out here tonight. Again, every single guy in the league here tonight has 2 fast repairs for themselves. So if they're in an accident, get any sort of engine or damage on the bodywork, they're able to come down pit lane, get it fixed. Every single week, these guys are spending $5 for an entry, which leads towards weekly as well as season payouts, which I think is awesome. You can come in every single week and have a chance to win money. And at the end of the season, you got potential for big money like you see right there. $300 if you're the championship winning driver. I mean, that is huge, as well as another $100 for the team championship, which, if you're on a team, you get 5, maximum 5 drivers. We take the 4 best drivers' points from every single week, and that's a season-long standings list as opposed to the driver where there's obviously the playoffs. So, Dean, man, I mean, this is a long haul of a season, but, you can make a lot of money here in Speed Racing Network, even down here in the Truck Series with only $5 every week.
Yeah, Jake, I think probably the coolest part about the Speed Racing Network payout structure is any of our 3 series, be it here in the trucks, the Xfinity series, or up in the Cup series, basically winner is going to make roughly right at about 5 or so times what it is that they paid into. There's definitely some good money to be had here in these races. And like you said, not just for your individual, but for your team championship as well. So, Jake, I tell you what, why don't we take a look here, at some of these payouts. I mean, like I said, $5 is going to pay you back $25 if you're the winner here. So, Jake, 5 times the amount of money you pay into the thing could potentially be yours if you manage to master this paperclip here tonight.
It definitely is. First place. $25 to the winner, as well as that Xfinity race entry. That's easily my most favorite thing about the league. For these guys in the Truck Series and the Xfinity, if they win the race, they get to move up to the next division and have a shot to win even more money. Second place gets 15. Third and fourth are bringing home $10. and 5th through 7th, I mean, they get their money back. So, you know, you might have an off night or, you know, squeak into the top 7 there, and, you know, you're able to break even, you know, with your weekly entry. So you can just push that towards next week and go try and get some more money the next.
Yeah, Jake, and you know the money's always good, but you know for the individuals, but also like I said, we got to mention that that individual championship. Like we said, $300 there for our winner. Second place for or second place in points, would pay $150. Third place would pay $100. Fourth place would pay $75, and fifth place is going to pay $50. Jake, I mean, like we said, that's a lot of money on the line there. And then you got that team championship, which is paying $100. So you got to think with some of these teams, they could definitely make some big money if they manage to put all 5 of their drivers up here in that top 5.
Oh, I mean, you aren't kidding about that. I mean, if you got all 5 of your guys in the top 5, odds are you'll be winning that team championship as well as, you know, 1st through 5th season payouts for the, you know, individual drivers. So a lot of money to be had. And, we also want to shout out Griffith CPA firm for sponsoring our season payouts. Obviously, that's huge. Every single sponsor on board here at Speed Racing Network, we always thank them and applaud them for coming along and joining us on our journey as we continue to grow and expand our league, Dean.
Yeah, Jake, and another great sponsor that has come on board with us this season has been Buck Kicker. They sponsor our Clean Driver Award, and basically what a Buck Kicker is it's an apparatus that attaches to your sim racing rig where most people kind of look at it and say, hey, it's just a steering wheel in your hand. You have a little bit of force feedback you can feel on that, but your eyes really are what's kind of going through to guide you. Your eyes and your ears, you kind of hear the tires squeal. You see how the car is pointed, but what this Buck Kicker does is it allows you to actually go through and feel the car a little more. You may not get all the G-forces, but you're going to get the bumps, the movements, things in the track you normally couldn't feel. And if you're not a member of Speed Racing Network and want to try and go and get your own Buck Kicker, you can use our discount code SRNVS20 for 20% off of your Buck Kicker order. Definitely.
Always heard great things about them. Another awesome thing Speed Racing Network has partnering with them is Kane Cook for Kane Cook Sim Coaching Sessions. If you don't know who Kane Cook is, man, he is one of the top oval NASCAR drivers on iRacing. He's got himself in the Coca-Cola Series, which is the upper echelon, the cream of the crop, so to speak, for oval racing here on iRacing. It's the hard, one of the hardest leagues to get yourself into. Obviously, what he's known for is being a hard charger. There's a hard charger given out at the end of every single iRacing race that they have or that you have, and how you get that is you gain the most positions from your starting spot. So Kane Cook knows what he's doing. Obviously, speaking about it, he's he's one of the best drivers out here on the platform. So it speaks volumes for who he is and how he races and things like that. And he's got a 7,400 I rating, which is a point system that you accumulate, every single official race you do on iRacing, you either gain or lose. And he's well over 7,000. And he's not only done that on one account, he's also got a second account, and he's done it there as well. So this guy knows what he's talking about. He can show you every single trick of the trade. So you can go to our website, speedracingnetwork.com. You can book a session for a one-on-one with Kane. Dean, if you and I wanted to do it, for example, you can have a duo session with Kane as well as a group session. So if you got a bunch of guys or friends, you want to jump in there with Kane and get some tips, he does that as well. Or, for example, how we have our league here. If you got a team that's looking to improve your skills on iRacing, check out our website, speedracingnetwork.com, to book one of those sessions.
Yeah, Jake, and I tell you what, one thing that you may want to jump into some Kane Cook sessions is if you're one of these guys here towards the tail end of this points chase. Now, when we go through and look at all of our points, you've got Michael Madden and Corey Saucier, 2 of our drivers, have actually locked themselves into the championship playoffs, Jake. No matter what happens between this week and next week, they're in, so they don't have anything to sweat about. They can absolutely go out there, run for the win. You got Cole Martin, Nathan Nixon, Brandon Domain, and Jose Castellanos there in your top 6. These guys feel pretty confident about it. They don't really think they have too much to worry about, but between this week at Martinsville and next week at Richmond, anything could happen. We go through, look at Kyle Wimble in 7th, Jack Johnson in 8th, Andrew Harris in 9th, Jonathan Byer in 10th, Byron McDonald, our Sunday night co-broadcaster, back there in 11th, Josh Mueller in 12th, Robert Yost in 13th, and Matt Johnson in 14th. Now, if you're looking at our graphics here and you see Matt Johnson in green, you say, well, hey, these guys up top are in green. Does that mean Matt Johnson's in? No, he's not in just yet, but he actually, last time we raced 2 weeks ago, moved from outside of the cut to inside the cut. Matt Johnson doing a lot of work there, putting that 4th Jonathan Byer Racing truck up there in that playoffs, Jake. And last but not least, Sean Kozier rounding out our top 15.
Exactly, and just want to point out there too, real quick, is you saw the 4 of the 5 Rev Racing trucks in, and with Matt Johnson moving into the inside the cut, that's the 4th Jonathan Byer Racing truck. So 2 teams with 4 drivers in the top 15 of points, pretty impressive. But we still got here our race tonight at Martinsville, where these guys you see here on your screen outside the cut, looking in, trying to make it happen. As you see, Bobby Anderson with the red on the ends of the standings there. That means last week after Bristol, he dropped from inside the cut to outside the cut. So he is trying to get back in that thing so he can have a shot at going after that $300. And you see the guys on the right side that are all in red. Unfortunately for them, it's been that kind of year, Dean. And they mathematically are out of the playoffs already, even though we still have Martinsville and Richmond left on the schedule. But I just want to say, it might mathematically, the calculator might show it that these guys really have a shot. But I mean, it's going to take a Hail Mary for guys that are, I got to imagine, from anywhere from 19th and below, man, to make this thing. It's just a lot's got to go your way. And to be on Martinsville tonight here on this half-mile track, and then we go to another short track next week, Richmond. I think too many things can happen that are just outside of your control, whether it be, getting involved into a wreck or if somehow we get green flag pit stops. I mean, you time it wrong and you get yourself a couple laps down in that yellow falls, man. That it's just unfortunately the short end of the stick. And these guys have been trying hard all season long, but I think it's really going to come down to between Bobby Anderson, Jeffrey Stewart, and James Kerr trying to make their way into the show for the playoffs. James is 20 points out, so he needs 10 points each week, and that can be tough on short tracks.
It sure can, Jake. And, the thing is not for our viewers at home, any fans of those guys towards the bottom end of the points. Hey, we're not down on these guys. Some of them have had some rough luck this season. And, Jake, like you said, you never know what can happen. I seem to remember last year in the Cup Series, a certain driver pulling a miracle at Martinsville just to go on and win him a championship the following week at Phoenix.
Hey, you're definitely not wrong there. Shouting out Chase Elliott right there. And that's the thing here in this league. If you win, you're not in, so it makes it even more tougher. You might be rattling off these great finishes, winning races, things like that, but it's all about the whole regular season from start to finish, points wise. So we'll see what happens. You never know. Some of these guys have been quick so far in practice, but here you go. These are playoff clinching scenarios. You got Cole Martin. He's got to finish 39th or better. I'm not even sure there are 39 trucks in this event. So I got to imagine Cole's going to be locked into the playoffs already. Nathan Nixon only needs to finish ahead of 28th spot. Brandon Domain just needs to be 18th or better, as well as his teammate there. You see Jose Castellanos. If he finishes second or better tonight, he would lock himself in, and not have to worry about Richmond. And then Kyle Wimble and Jack Johnson, if they go out and win this thing tonight, Dean, these guys are locked in as well. So these are just, 6 storylines to keep an eye out tonight, as well as the race itself. So, and I think it's huge. If you're, Nathan Nixon or Brandon Domain, if you're able to finish, 18th, 28th or better, and not have to worry about going into next week and anything crazy happening, and somehow you're out of the playoffs, that's huge, because then you can start practicing, looking forward to the first race of the playoffs, I think first is Dega, so realistically it's not that, but you just got more time to practice, things like that. Speaking of practicing, this team right here, man, they are the upper echelon of the truck series right now with our Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Team Championships. Rev Racing, man, 3 wins, Dean, and they're leading this thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, 3 wins is awesome to have. I mean, you look at them with a pretty good point. I'm just going to call it 200 points just to save time here. But then you have Jonathan Byer Racing. They're the team that they're leading over. Sitting second in points, you saw 4 of their 5 drivers in the top 15, and that 5th one knocking on the door. They don't have any wins, Jake, but they are darn consistent. R&D Motorsports got their 3 wins. Stryker Motorsports in 4th. Once again, none. Bronco Motorsports, they've got the 4 wins, Jake, just not the consistency to hold it. To be up there high in the championship. Team SRN is going to be there in 6th, Tank Racing in 7th, and H2K Motorsports rounding out our top 8.
And there you have it. That's the team standings right now. We're going to show you who's on each and every team. You got Rev Racing here. Our team leaders, they're going to have obviously the 15 truck of Michael Madden, who has won 2 races, the 23 Byron McDonald broadcast for the Cup Series, Nathan Nixon at 33, won at the Daytona Road Course, the 97 of Sean Kozier, as well as the 224 of Cody Riggs. So really solid 5 here. Obviously, they're leading this whole thing so far.
Yep, and they've shown all season, Jake, they can win at any point in time, know that they definitely know how to strike. And then coming up next is Jonathan Byer Racing, the team we talked about. 4 of their 5 drivers in that top 15. You got Jack Johnson in the 35, Matt Johnson in the 61, Jonathan Byer, the El Capitan there in 66, James Kerr in the 75, and Kyle Wimble there in the 91. Another solid group of guys here, Jake. No wins to their name, but I'm telling you, that first one's coming.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, man. If you got a consistent team like this, you're down 200 points, but you keep rolling off these strong finishes as a team, you never know what can happen at the end of this thing. And obviously, we'll roll in here to the TriStar Tennessee home team here. R&D Motorsports, brought to you by David Duke. Obviously, he's put this team together. He's got the number 3 Corey Saucier. He's got 3 wins on this thing. Bobby Anderson in that 18, his teammates here, and Jason Crackey in the 54. Trevor White in the 88 and the 99 of Mike Mosby. So again, you got 3 wins as a team, but you're sitting 3rd place in the team standings, which shows you, even though they've had success with 3 wins with Corey Saucier, collectively, the consistency hasn't been there, like with Rev Racing. So it's just, as well as Jonathan Byer Racing, who doesn't have a win. So that just shows you how this thing kind of quickly adds up and you can start falling behind.
Yeah, Jake, and a team that we're very, very familiar with here in Stryker Motorsports. Jose Castellanos there in the 4, Mike Lewis in the 5, Brandon Domain in the 20, Travis Trevelyan in the 71, and Joe Ruggles in the 96. Travis Trevelyan kind of revived this team from the Stryker Motorsports days of the Xfinity Series last year, and like I said, a lot of talent here. I have watched Castellanos and Brandon Domain be in the mix of so many races this year, and I really think that team's about to break through with a win sooner than later.
Hey, you never know, and that's the thing. That's the awesome part about this league is, anyone from any single team can go out and win a thing. So we'll keep our eyes out tonight for Stryker Motorsports, see if they can't get that first win. A team that knows victory lane pretty well. You got Bronco Motorsports here. You got 2 different winners on this team. Michael York, the 81, Cole Martin, who has won 2 races, kind of been, one of the better trucks these last 4 or 5 weeks, as well as the 86 Brian Crocker on Bronco. And then your other 2-time winner for Bronco Motorsports is Andrew Harris. So these guys, again, we pointed out they have 4 wins as a team, 2 guys with 2 wins, but they are mirrored back towards 4th place in the team standings. So just winning a race doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna be towards the top of this team standings. And it really emphasizes the point of having consistency from your number 1 through your 5th driver. That way, if anything goes wrong, you're able to capitalize on having a guy that's running, in the top 15, things like that.
Yeah, Jake, and another great group of guys here. The home team, the Team SRN. You have Tevin Whitner there in the 9, Taylor Smith in the 24, Corey Knight in the 90, Rob Yost in the 92, and Brad Yonkman there in the 93. Jake, this team, unfortunately, I just don't think that they've lived up quite to their expectations this year. It's been a lot of unfortunate incidents that they have gotten caught in the middle of the pack. But like I said, just a few quick wins can turn that around.
No doubt, it really can, and you never know. Again, that's the beauty of motorsports is every single week, anyone can go out and win it. And here we are with our next team is Tank Racing, led by the 10 truck of Walter Lipicki, the 26 of Josh Mueller, the 69 of Vincent Cortez, and the 79 of Jeremy Duncan. So again, another team that's kind of been towards the back of the pack for the team standings kind of all season long. Things just haven't gone their way, and you see with this team as well as the last team. They've only got 4 guys, and I think that really burns these teams. not having a fifth, kind of having, your backup quarterback, so to speak, or something of that nature, just to be able to have, an ace in your back pocket to be able to, rely on, fall back on. That way you're able to, not have such a bad night if one of your guys is, struggling or gets wrecked out or something like that.
Yeah, Jake, and I'll tell you, like you said there, this team H2K Motorsports rounding out our points here for the team championship. David Swift in the 13th, Josh Schwitt in the 16, Cody Madden in the 17, Justin Kruckman in the 19, and Jeffrey Stewart in the 115. Cody Madden's been in the thick of a lot of these races here, and just hasn't quite got the results he's been looking for. And I tell you, the one group of guys looking to spoil this whole party tonight, Jake's our independent drivers. These are Xfinity drivers who have dropped down to run with us here tonight, maybe for a little extra practice, maybe for a little more fun. But you got the 7 of John Doc Holliday, the number 42 of Kevin Winker, and the number 48 of Evan Scott. So these guys will be out here looking to get some experience, Jake. But I'll tell you, the best experience is on the track, and right now qualifying has just concluded from Martinsville Speedway. Cole Martin's going to be your pole sitter for Bronco Motorsports. Corey Saucier barely behind him from R&D. Nathan Nixon from Revved Racing in third. Vincent Cortez from Tank Racing in fourth. Andrew Harris from Bronco Motorsports in fifth. And Bobby Anderson for R&D Motorsports there in sixth.
And seventh place rolling off is Brandon Domain from Stryker Motorsports. His teammate from the same team, obviously, Jose Castellanos in eighth. Ninth place is going to be Robbie Yost Jr. from Team SRN. One of our independent drivers, one of the Xfinity guys, Kevin Winker, jumping down to the Truck Series, rolling off, rounding out the top 10. The 11th place driver, Josh Mueller, the number 26 from Tank Racing. And the 12th place driver is going to be Evan Scott in the 48 truck for Filthy 5 Motorsports. So here we have it, Dean. Our qualifying's ended. You see these trucks gridding up, ready to go here for the Clippy 125, man. What are you looking forward to watching out here tonight, Dean?
Jake, I think the biggest thing that we're going to have to watch out for, and it's definitely hard to do in such a short race like this, is a level of patience, kind of settling in, letting the trucks come to you. Turn one, you've had a lot of practice here. We were watching a lot of practice, and it's going to be very, very, very intriguing to see how these guys get into the binders. You got so many guys, Cole Martin up here being the pole sitter, you'd think, okay, hey, he's in the clear, but you just never know what can happen behind you. Jake, I just mentioned Cole Martin here. You may be picking some low-hanging fruit, but I got to ask, buddy, who's your pick to win this race here tonight in the Commonwealth of Virginia?
I think I'm going to go the 33 truck of Nathan Nixon. He won the Daytona Road Course, so he knows how to really, obviously this track, there's a lot of heavy braking getting into these corners, so I think that's going to translate well for the 33 of Nathan Nixon from Rev Racing, Dean. I think that's who I'm going to go with tonight.
Yeah, Jake, I don't even know where to start that question, to start that answer. I'd like to say Cole Martin, because, the man's just absolutely been on a roll the last few weeks, and I have no reason to doubt anything that he's been doing. But just because of how he's going to have to fight the track a little bit and get back in line, he hasn't put a dub up in a little bit. But, Jake, I'm going to take Corey Saucier there in that 3 on the outside.
Not a bad pick at all. Obviously, him and Cole up front leading this thing on the front row once we get going green this time once this pace truck rolls off. Not a bad pick, Dean. Obviously, he's shown he can win multiple times. Let's see if he can get it here. But the pace truck is off, so we're going to wait for Cole Martin to get this thing rolling for the Clippy 125. The 85 truck of Bronco Motorsports getting ready. And green flag is out. Cole Martin's going to get going.
Already stacked up.
The tires.
Oh, man, and the accordion effect takes place, Jake. Cole Martin gets down there into turn 1. Nathan Nixon's going to follow him close behind. Corey Saucier battling on the outside. Saucier's clear, so he's going to have the run he needs. He's going to look towards the inside of Cole Martin, just not quite close enough. And just that quick, Jake, almost like Bristol Motor Speedway, a half-mile track, not quite banked, but 1 lap already down here at Martinsville.
You look down off that screen right now, these laps are going to go by quick, but Cole Martin is trying to... There it is, though, Dean. I was going to say it. I was surprised it didn't happen sooner than it did, but we get 1 lap done, and we're already under yellow. So I think that was the 7 of John Doc Holliday, one of our independent drivers, involved, as well as the 79 there. So we've already got calamity on lap 1, Dean.
Yeah, 79, Jeremy Duncan. Looks like that engine was done, but what's definitely not done is Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec replays. And Jake, we're going to see quite a few of these the next coming weeks, I do believe. See what happens down here in turn number 3. Oh, three wide is not going to work here.
Oh, no. It's never going to. And I believe it was a little bit of net code, not too sure, but it looked like the 7 kind of got into the 24. I believe that was Taylor Smith.
Yeah, there you go. I knew you'd get it right one of these days.
Yeah, I don't know what it is every single time with him, man. I just want to say Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Big net code on the right side door for John.
I mean, the poor Taylor. I mean, he was just located right about the ignition box there for John. So, yeah, Jake, I mean, I get it right here. I mean, you've got to make up everything that you can. It looks like the 17 got forced to the outside. That was Cody Madden. And, man, there's just no traction, no speed, anything up there. And, like I said, Taylor and John go 3 wide there. And at that point, it's going to be a game of chicken who's going to break last. But that wonderful net code kind of sucks them together, and we're under our first caution.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, man. Laps can go quick, but, there's going to be a lot of yellows, I think, tonight. I was honestly pretty shocked not to see it happen down into turn 1 on that restart with guys just not, might not be practicing that, obviously with a ton of trucks around you. Little room to work, so it can be tough getting into 1 on the initial start of all these restarts we're going to have.
Jake, I'll tell you one thing that we didn't talk about in our pre-race show that I think is actually going to play a little bit of a factor here tonight. Track position is huge here at Martinsville. So I'm legitimately wondering, when are we going to go through and start to see pit strategy kind of come through here? I mean, it's one of those deals where I honestly think in terms of pit strategy, it's going to mean something, right? Because I think you're going to have some guys who are going to try to go through and, after 20, 30 laps with a little bit of tire wear, they're going to say, hey, maybe I want to duck down into the pits. And then you're going to have some of these guys a little further back that decide to stay out for the track position. I mean, I don't know what is the right way or the wrong way here really to race this track at Martinsville. But I think we're getting ready to definitely find out here as the pace truck pulls off. Looks like Cole Martin's going to lead us here through turns 3 and 4. He's going to have the field in his control. He takes off again and down into turn number 1. We're racing again from Martinsville. Cole Martin's going to get that big breakdown into turn number 1, get himself some good track position in between he and Nathan Nixon. The second place truck, Corey Saucier, starts to get shuffled, and we are under caution again, unfortunately. Please forgive us, everybody at home. We are experiencing just a slight technical difficulty here. We're going to work with Jake Roel in his battery pack. Looks like that his microphone may have went dead on us, so we're going to work with him here through this Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec Replay.
Well, we are back, Dean. Appreciate that covering for me there.
The positive side on the battery goes to the plus. The negative goes on the minus. Get it together.
Exactly. How can you forget that? But here we are back under yellow again. Another Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memo. Wow.
Woo! I do not know what that was. That may have been the most aggressive spin I have ever seen at any track. Let's see this. It looks like Walt Lipicki.
I wonder if he just kind of locked him up and the truck came out from underneath him. I think
that's exactly what happened. Yeah, just rear brakes locked up.
I think he got in a little too hot, a little deeper than he usually did, and didn't want to run into the back of that truck, that white truck, whoever it was, going into turn 1 before him, and did the nice thing there and kind of took himself out to avoid running over this guy in front of him. I think that's one of the Bronco Motorsports trucks, or maybe one of the Jonathan Byer Racing.
I'll tell you what, that's the kind of speed and turn that you want to carry into a corner at Martinsville. You just don't want to run it quite that shallow, Jake Roel.
Yeah, that was.
We're gonna go inside this cockpit.
View,
I want to see this on. I want to see this onboard. Walt's carrying an onboard camera with us. Just see what happens. Looks like he was. Did you see that, Jake? Looks like he's going through the gears here a little bit. He just gets down in the corner and just boom, just locks it up. Whew, what a ride!
What a ride it is. And to your point, last time I ran a C-Fix truck race here, there was definitely downshifting. So it'll be interesting to see how many of these guys know that and have picked up from other drivers, maybe in practice, listening to the other engines, things like that, seeing what guys are doing. You got to be careful with it. If you're not easy getting back onto the gas, it is very, very easy to spin the tires, light those up. You start going through your rear tires really easily. So these guys that are downshifting, if they are, got to be patient with it and be smart about it, especially here. only on lap 11 early on. This thing's, well over 100 laps to go.
Well, Jake, right before your microphone died, I was asking to hear what's going on, in terms of the race, right? Like pre-race, we talked about how track position is going to be big. But do you think we'll see pit strategy play in at any point of this race? Like, when you're someone up front like Cole Martin, Nathan Nixon, Corey Saucier, you definitely got some speed to kind of come through the field. But at which point do you pit? Do you get gas? Do you get tires? Or, man, are you staying out here from green to checker?
I'm not too sure if they can make it all that way on fuel. I think what you got to do is almost kind of just break it in half. The yellow comes out about lap 60, or a little bit before that, a little bit after. I think you just got to bite the bullet, go down pit lane, service your truck. Because, man, if you had a pit with, less than 25 laps to go, I mean, your chances of coming through this field are going to be slim to none. But Cole Martin, man, someone will have to keep our eye on there. He's going to get going here back at Martinsville Speedway, going to get the green flag. He's going to get up to the outside and have the great entrance into turn 1 as you see him keeping it tucked to the inside curbing, and that is the way to do it, Dean.
Yeah, he didn't get quite the breakaway that he did under the last restart here, Jake. And your pick, Nathan Nixon, slowly starting to encroach. We got trouble in the middle of 3 and 4. One car goes around, collects a few others, it looks like, back here. It's Evan Whitner there in the 9 truck, Jake. I saw him go around. I think he might have gotten just a hair of a bit of help on his way into the entry there. I'm not sure. But I about guarantee I know who can tell us, and that's going to be that Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec Replay. Check these guys out on Shopify sometimes. Jake, I actually placed an order with them a couple days ago, so I'm definitely excited to get that one in.
Definitely, and that's the thing here. You get any kind of help from behind going in. As we see 3 wide behind Tevin going into turn 3. That's never going to do it. Kind of. Oh, it happened right in front of him.
Yeah, it happened in
front
of him.
He just got run over.
Yeah, it happened in front of him there, Jake. He definitely had some help. He wasn't the one that I saw go around. I didn't think that he was. Looks like Brandon Domain from Striker Motorsports might have been the one who kind of kicked it all off. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. 92.
Oh, yeah.
Got up onto the grass over the curb, and unfortunately for Brandon, and that's one of those guys that were trying to get themselves locked in. I believe he had finished 18th or better to get locked into the playoffs already.
Yeah,
doesn't look too bad. I mean,
yeah, that curb. I mean, it's a good. What would you say, Jake? Maybe 5-6 inches tall, and you go down in here.
It's probably almost a foot. I'd say almost a little bit.
Yeah, you just see it there. I mean, you got a lot of guys trying to jockey for position, all trying to fit their nose into the same place, and you hit that curb, and the thing is whoever's on your outside, they're not coming through the other side of it, unfortunately.
Not at all. It's the old saying is 8 tires is better than 4. That's something we just saw there. The 92, for whatever happened there going into the corner, got up over the curb and got into the left side door of Brandon Domain, and used him up for the corner entry, and it sent Brandon up the track kind of out of shape, and around he went with some other help from behind, and that's just that's how it works here in Martinsville. You've got so much break into it, getting slowed down. You're turning hard to the left. If you get any sort of bump from behind, it really upsets the car or the truck tonight, obviously, and it can be a handful for some guys.
Yeah, Jake, it's a tough setup, and I'm going to tell you here, I mean, I'm not one to usually oust myself on broadcast, but, man, this used to be one of my favorite racetracks on iRacing. I won a lot of races here in trucks and cup cars back in the day, late models, super late models, you name it, I won here on it. And, man, there's just been some type of a change with this track, and I've been struggling with it this week, so I can understand if I'm having some struggles with it as being in our Cup Series. I can only imagine what some of these guys down here in the Xfinity or the Truck Series are going through.
Absolutely, Dean, and that's the thing, right? You're one of the Cup Series drivers, and you're saying you're having a hard time. So for some of these guys, they might not have ever driven on the track, so it can be a handful, and they're 19-20 second laps, so I don't even know how to put it into words. It's a patience thing, and you get into a rhythm, Dean.
I'll tell you what, if we want to take a look at it here, let's go on board with Cole Martin as he takes this field here through the green flag. Get to see him go through the gears. You see that pace truck's off on his inside. He's going to go ahead and get on the gas, start going through these gears, and just look at how hard he gets in the brakes. Look at that nose settle in. and he just gets down into the corner, and you'll hear this truck just dig straight up off the corner, so much throttle, and he gets down in here super deep on the brakes again. I mean, it's so much repetition at this track, Jake. I mean, it's almost perfectly symmetrical, and even with it being symmetrical, you've got to go through and hit a little bit different marks on the front and the back stretch. It's a tough place to drive.
It really is, and it's one of those places, Dean. You got to not worry about the other cars, so to speak. If you're looking at, obviously Cole Martin out in the lead, he's got nothing in front of him, so perfect situation. But if you're at 6th, 7th, 20th spot, something like that, you've got cars in front of you like no tomorrow. You got to almost not look at the rear bumper of them, because you're going to miss your marks getting into these corners here. And this track is a rhythm. If you're in a groove, man, and you're clicking away good laps, one by one, you're fine. And here we are, Dean, another yellow flag. Travis Trevelyan around.
Yeah, Jake, another one there towards the bottom of our potential into the playoff hunt. Travis Trevelyan from Stryker Motorsports looks like he's going to go on a wash cycle here, go on a spin cycle, and around he goes, and give us time to take a look at the Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec Replay just to see what's going on here.
Tell you what, Dean, we might be closing in on that record for most cautions in a Speed Racing Network series race. Travis looks like he checked up really early. Oh, and there it is, the behind, unfortunately.
Yeah, Travis did everything he needed to do there to try to miss that wreck. And the unfortunate part about a racetrack, Jake, is it's much like the road. You're at the mercy of everybody else around you. Looks like that 16 truck of Josh Witt just comes through and gets in the back of him. He checks up big just to miss it. Just in the process, I mean, that right there, man, I mean, I can't really blame that on Josh Witt. I can't blame that on Travis. Travis was kind of coming back down to the line, but that closing rate behind him was so much where he was so hard in the brakes. The 16 had already committed, and 71 kind of comes down across his nose, Jake, and these trucks get super light when you bump them like that.
Yeah, they definitely do, Dean, and that's the thing, man. Travis is trying to avoid the wreck in front of him, whether it be someone not being able to see it or just, thinking it would get cleared up. Guy just runs him over, and we're already under our 4th yellow of the race. Makes you wonder, Dean, can these guys make it on fuel? If we continuously have all these yellows like we're having, I mean, you're not burning nearly as much fuel as if we had, 20, 30 lap green flag runs.
No, I mean, Jake, we're a fifth of the way through this race. I mean, it's already 1/5 clicked off just like that. So I think a lot of these guys up towards the front, I would not be surprised if we continue at a pace like this to see them going ahead and just staying out, trying to stretch their fuel for everything it's worth. Because honestly, under caution, I especially this many caution laps, when you get 3 for every 2 or 3 green flag laps, you're going to make it to the end. It's just a matter of, if we get into a rhythm, if we get settled in, if we get some green flag racing, I think that will start to force some people's hands as these tires wear.
Definitely, and that's the thing too. Obviously, we talked about it before the race even started. At what point do you pit? And that's the thing. These guys up front, they could take themselves out of this race, and someone mere 10th, 15th place could sneak a win by not pitting and keeping themselves out front, trying to hold these guys off if they do pit. And that's kind of the strategy, if you want to call it that, when you have races like this that kind of get covered up in so many yellow flag and cautions. That you could be someone like Cole Martin or Corey Saucier having great runs so far. Obviously, Cole's led every lap, but these guys are kind of pulling away from the field when we've had a little bit short of a run, so quickly with only a couple laps. So you just got to be smart about it, and it's where you kind of hope you have a crew chief or a spotter, someone helping you out making these decisions.
Yeah, man, and I tell you, right now, the big thing I want to start watching for is every time you go through these restarts, that's the more and more opportunity for potential wheel spin. As Cole Martin doesn't have to worry about it. He gets on the gas and down the straightaway he goes. But as we get deeper and deeper into this race, it will make me wonder, are we going to potentially see some wheel spin change the outcome of this thing? And he loves what he's looking at in his rearview mirror. It looked like Andrew Harris, his teammate, was going to get underneath Corey Saucier. Corey kind of fighting back on the outside, and this just going to let Cole just run his line and kind of pull away. Corey gets clear on the outside. What a run by that 3 truck.
Around the outside he goes. Corey Saucier going to take the second position away from Cole Martin's teammate, Andrew Harris, who was on the inside of it. That's pretty impressive to do here at Martinsville. You know, it's not an easy task. Got to be very patient with it on that outside. You can get frustrated really quick if you seem to, you know, if you start thinking the guy on your inside is crowding you, things like that. You know, it can rattle your cage, so to speak. Speaking of rattling cages, Dean, we're under a yellow again.
Whoa!
Holiday, Evan Scott, the 79 of Jeremy
He's in it again.
And here's the thing, Cole Martin is coming up on this wreck, so you got to be careful. If one of those guys start backing up in front of these leaders, something like that, man, that's just another thing you got to watch out for on these short tracks.
It looks like 79 is going to get towed back here to pit road, Jake. Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Wreck Replay. We've already seen the 79 in one race or one wreck tonight. We saw Walt Lepicki there coming by with another blown motor in the 10. Had seen him in the wreck. So let's take a look and see what happens here. Working down the back straightaway. Got the 70
going down into three wide is not.
It's not going to work, man. You can't. That's situational awareness right there, Jake. And Evan Scott there in the 48 truck has got to know, oh man, look at that number 7 truck, Doc Holliday. I know he was in one earlier. He's got to know here, man. He can't fit that truck down in there. I mean, if you're 3 wide coming off of turn 2, yeah, race it down in there, but you cannot stuff a truck down in there like that and expect it to stick.
No, you can't. You saw Evan, I believe, hit the curb too, which obviously brought out one of the yellows earlier on. And again, you know, it's hard to really make a judgment call. Obviously, this is our truck series, so there's a mix of guys that are, you know, brand new to the iRacing or, you know, trying to get their feet underneath them, you know, with the iRacing system, things like that. And then you got guys that are, you know, a little bit more experienced, things like that. So, and then you throw them all on Martinsville, where some guys might enjoy this type of track, or some guys hate it. It's just a big mixing bowl here, and I think that's just kind of what causes that. And here we are underneath another yellow, Dean.
Yeah, Jake, that's an unfortunate one there for a lot of those guys. And, you know, the thing is if you're anybody there at home, know that we don't have any favorites here. We as drivers, we kind of call it sometimes the way that we see it. We may be guilty to a fault of that. So please, if you're any of the drivers or any of their fans, don't take offense if we as drivers call out what we see on the moves. That's why they hire us to do these broadcasts, I think, right?
You hope so, Dean, and you know that's why we're back. So, but up front, man, Cole Martin again kind of saw this thing happen, or this happened the same way at Phoenix. Was a whole lot of yellows. 85 truck was up front. Could we be seeing a repeat here at Martinsville Speedway? I know Corey Saucier doesn't want that to happen, but you know, Corey made the outside work around the 87 of Andrew Harris, so it makes you wonder if he gets the shot to do it to Cole. You know, can he make that pass on the outside work, Dean?
Yeah, I think you can, Jake. I mean, it's Martinsville's a fun track in terms of you never know in terms of passes. Is it going to be clean? Is there going to be a little bump involved? You know, it's way too early to be bumping someone to move them out of the way right now. That can get you in trouble a lot later in the race when the bump comes back to gain interest, so to speak. But right now, like I said, Cole Martin, he's got the thing. He qualified in P1. He's just held that position. And, man, I tell you, nobody in the top 20 has pitted yet in this race. So I think that's kind of answering a little bit of our pit strategy question.
Yeah, I can't be surprised by that at all, Dean. I mean, you give up track position. You've seen all the wrecks kind of towards the rear of the field, you know, in that middle spot towards the back. It's chaos. So if you're out front, man, you want to make sure when you come down, you drag almost every single truck behind you down pit lane. And right now, Cole Martin going to get back on that gas pedal. Gets a better restart, no tire spin from the front 4 as Cole Martin breaks away down into turn 1.
Yeah, Jake, and I tell you, his restarts the last few times, he got a big break the very first 2 restarts. The last couple he's been getting timed out a little bit, so he might need to do something a little different as Corey Saucier is going to get on that bumper, and around goes Andrew Harris.
87, Andrew Harris, looks like the 33. Nathan Nixon kind of got into his rear bumper, and around she went for Andrew Harris.
Oh man, Jake, I tell you what, he's got it on the hood there. We've got it on the screen. We're going to see the Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Wreck Replay one more time. I think that might have been just a little bit of a case of Nathan Nixon rolling the corner a little better than Andrew Harris, but we're going to find out what exactly happened. They're side by side coming off of turn 2. Andrew moves up in front. 33 moves down, and yep, another touch to the rear there, Jake. I mean, that's part of that short track racing. Right there, I can't really fault either one. If you're Nathan Nixon, you can't exactly slam on the brakes for worry about getting run over. And I'll tell you what, I think this chase view might show us a little more.
It kind of looks like.
Yeah, he rolled that center.
Even. Yeah, he was just able to get through the center of the corner better than Andrew. And Andrew kind of had to check up a little bit through the middle of the corner, and that's where Nathan was just got into his left rear bumper right there. And unfortunately for Andrew, kind of obviously sent him around, and now he's not going to be P3 at all.
Yeah, I tell you what, with Nathan there, it's kind of weird there, Jake. I mean, because right there, I know we're in the brakes usually in the Cup cars right through there. So, like we said, he may have just rolled that center a little better. When you really look at the angles that they took, he was kind of cutting down a little bit before Andrew Harris was. Harris was taking a very late type of an arc through the corner, and I think more than anything, right there at that particular point in turn 3, Nathan was just a little faster, rolled the corner just a little better, got into his back bumper, and that's the accordion effect of Martinsville Speedway sometimes.
It absolutely is, and here we are. You see third place driver in the driver standings is Cole Martin, the 85 for Bronco Motorsports. We said before the show started, or the race started, he had to finish 39th or better to move on, or to lock himself into the playoffs. Well, there's only 34 trucks out there, Dean. So Cole Martin's got himself locked into the playoffs already. So we'll see what happens here. If he is able to continue leading this thing and win it.
Yeah, 39th or better, and he is at the or better, I do believe, right now.
Yeah, he obviously is. He's leading this thing, Dean. You had me stumbling there with your question there.
Oh man, them $2 hot dogs at Martinsville, it's the greatest concession that you could ever ask for, Jake. And I knew you'd probably be putting 1 or 2 of them down today.
Oh no, that's all you, Dean. I know you told me you had a record of 12 hot dogs while you sat here and watched the race. So, gotta imagine with our 6th yellow, you've been running up and down those stairs behind the broadcast booth down to the snack bar, getting some more hot dogs. I know you love those things here.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that was a personal record for me way back when. Got to go to that race with my dad, and I want to give him a shout out. He's in the hospital right now recovering from some health issues. I know he's watching, and Dad, get well soon. But Cole Martin's going to bring this field down here to the green. Off turn 4, green flag's back in the air. He gets a decent little restart, but I tell you what, Corey Saucier is going to be right on his bumper. Nathan Nixon's going to pack it in behind Corey Saucier. Very close.
I thought Corey was about to have the same treatment that Andrew Harris had that brought out that last yellow. But Corey Saucier able to get down to the and another yellow flag is out though. So Corey Saucier is not even able to make a move on Cole Martin at all. That's kind of just how I think this thing's gonna go. Kind of almost wonder, Dean. Single file restarts. Maybe that's something the admins should contemplate having happen here. I don't know if that would make a difference or not, but this is our 7th yellow already here, and we're not even done with lap 45.
Yeah, Jake, I mean, the 16
of Josh Witt, I believe that is who that is.
Man, I tell you what, that was kind of crazy at just that angle. It almost looked like he was in a 4-wheel slide. We'll have to take a look and see what we've got going on here. Brad Youngman moves in front of him.
Oh, really hard on the brakes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brad Youngman. Yeah, that's rough. Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
No, that's just, you get hard on these brakes, it locks them up, and then you saw him get over the curb into the grass, hit the inside wall, and it just shot him back up to the track, or up the track, and obviously collected the 16 of Joshua Witt, and Joshua Witt collected the 93. There's just madness going on everywhere we look here tonight, I think, Dean. I don't know if I really am surprised, but kind of surprised it's not happening quicker. So that's a good thing, I guess, here at Martinsville Speedway.
Yeah, man.
It just makes you wonder how long these guys are going to be able to be out here. We only do have 2 faster pairs, and I feel like, with this many wrecked trucks, at one point do we see guys dropping out of the race because their trucks aren't moving, they're damaged.
Yeah, Jake, it's going to be very, very interesting. The damage model here in iRacing can be a very fickle thing. I mean, sometimes you can go through and have a race like this and use your fast repairs and still get in wreck, take damage after damage after damage. I mean, hey, these are trucks after all, and they can take a little bit of a beating, but sometimes you can go through and completely have your truck derailed. And a lot of these guys, Jake, I mean, you got to think points are on the line. They may not be willing, even with an injured truck, to fall back like they may be in weeks past. I mean, right now it's all about the go time here.
Yeah, you got to get it while it's hot, right? You got to get your points. This race, only one more after it before the playoffs. So, maybe you're right. Hey, got a damaged truck. Don't use that fast repair until it's on its last leg, and you got to come in before that engine blows up. So that's kind of obviously with 3 short tracks back to back to back before the playoffs. It's kind of the situation or the scenario I saw coming into the final 3 races before the regular season ended was going to be like. It's just going to be really, really crazy, and tempers are going to flare naturally on short tracks, and things could be changed with the flip of a switch, with playoffs and everything like that. So it's pretty crazy to be able to be up here with you, broadcasting it, watching it happen live. Obviously, it's something that's it's going to be tonight with the trucks, tomorrow with the Xfinity, and Sunday night in the Cup Series.
Yeah, Jake, and back to green flag racing we go. Cole Martin that time definitely not going to give them any type of a chance. He heads for turn number 1. Corey Saucier going to get a little bit of a run through the center of the corner, and down the back straightaway we go. Cole Martin leads, Corey Saucier second, Nathan Nixon in third, and it looks like Michael Madden's going to look to the inside of Nathan Nixon. He's going to potentially have that spot coming off of turn number 4.
And I tell you what, those two are teammates right there, Nathan Nixon and Michael Madden. But there's nothing more nerve-wracking than trying to pass your teammate at Martinsville Speedway. A lot could go wrong really quick, right? We've seen a ton of trucks lock up into the entrance of the corner, and those are the few guys you hope it never happens to. But it's so easy to do here that it's it always worries me.
Caution's out, Rick. Caution's out again. Looks like Jonathan Byer this time in the 66 truck. Yeah, Jake, like you said, you don't want to go through and get in any type of a wreck. But much less one with your teammate. But let's just see what happens here to that 66 truck. Jonathan Byer on our Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec Replay.
Here we are going into turn 1. Speaking about 2 teammates there, I think it's going to happen here with these two. The 99 and 66 of Jonathan Byer. So those two are obviously teammates, and
I need an overhead view, Jake. I need an overhead view. I swear to you, that looked like netcode.
Probably was. I can't imagine, teammates trying to self-clear one another or, running them that tight. But here we are on board, 66, Jonathan Byer. The inside of the 91 of Kyle John. Oh, I don't know. I mean, hey, that's short track racing, right? I mean, that's just how close it is, how tight it gets out here on these tracks.
Let's take a look here. This view's going to be about our closest we've got. Yeah, netcode. Yeah, a little. I think a little bit of netcode there, Jake. Kind of sent that off. And man, you hate to see it, especially with teammates, guys trying to go out here get the best points that they can, right there in the second in that team championship. And the night's not over, but we're going to take a look here in slow motion, Jake, to see if we can actually start to see the weight shift on this 66 truck. He's going to come up off the corner. He's going to start having the power down. He moves up just a hair, but he's on the second lane. He's not turned. Yeah, Nick.
It was not code for sure. Yeah, and Dean, you pointed it out, but I think at the end of the day, man, at days in, I think the 66 was still coming up the track. Netcode or not, I think those two were going to make contact. It was inevitable. I think Jonathan Byer was still going to be facing the outside wall. Obviously not intentional or anything by any means there with those two, their teammates, but like I was saying before the yellow came out, it's very nerve-wracking to be trying to race with your teammates here, because things like that can happen, and in a blink of an eye you're spinning your teammate, or you're getting spun out by a teammate, things like that. But up front, man, it's still Cole Martin under the 8th caution here for the Clippy 125.
Well, Well, man, I tell you here, just kind of looking into it, I see Cole Martin there in first. Corey Saucier still holding tight in second. But Michael Madden, as we've seen week in and week out, he has worked his way back. Michael Madden is just a firm believer, and it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And Jake, usually we see him kind of qualify outside the top 10. Tonight he qualified 13th. He's all the way up to third between missing Carnage and passing drivers. And I tell you, another one I'd like to keep my eye on is back here in fifth spot, Matt Johnson. Started 14th. He's all the way up to fifth. So, Jake, while we've seen some of the carnage take place, we've had some great movers. Another one back here in 10th, Taylor Smith, up from 20th to 10th. And just a hair back from that, you got Jack Johnson from 24th to 12th. But right now, Jake's front row looks like it did at the start of the race. Pace truck's going to pull in. Cole Martin's going to have the field to his rear. He's going to get on the gas, and Corey Saucier just doesn't quite get the restart he's looking for, but they're going to head down for turn number 1.
And head down. Oh, Saucier got a little contact from the 15 of Michael Madden. And that's the thing, right? Corey Saucier is having to start on the outside. He's got to get himself cleared into turn 1. And
Saucier goes around.
Man.
And big wreck behind us.
We're gonna have a big one game.
Oh man, Jake, that's rough. My pick for the race, Corey Saucier going around here. A lot of rough racing up here up front. I'd love to see what happened. I swear it almost looked like Saucier was breaking a little loose before that happened entering turn 3. But Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec Replay is definitely going to let us know what's going on. Let's see.
Yeah, it's we saw them make contact in 1 and 2. It kind of pushed Corey up the track, giving Michael Madden the inside, and then as we head into 3.
Oh man, did Corey lose it, or did was that net code again,
Taylor
Jake?
Smith nowhere to go.
I want to see this because
the back end definitely kicks out here as he gets on the brakes.
Yeah,
a little bit, wheel hopping it, and around she went, and it just made it look like Michael Madden got into him because of the angle of our cameraman / the drone footage here. Not going to surprise Dean. I mean, you spin out P2 / P3 right here. No one else really got involved except for one other truck, Taylor Smith. That's pretty impressive. Wow. Taylor Smith was able to really drive that thing in deep.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's just
all of a sudden it all came to a screeching halt as he ran into the door of Corey Saucier right there.
Well, it looks like Corey's going to go ahead and come down, take one of his fast repairs and a brand new set of tires. He's going to barely beat this pace truck off of pit road, it looks like. So he should still be on the lead lap, Jake, but Cole Martin out front. I tell you what, why don't we try to look to get him pulled up in here into the SRN booth, see what he's feeling like tonight.
Let's do it. Here we go, Dean. Cole Martin waiting on and here we are. Can I get a race leader in the booth right now? Cole Martin, man. It's Jake Rowell, Dean Brummett, and the SRN booth, buddy. How's it going?
It's going pretty good up here in first with all these cautions.
Well, man, we've seen you do this the last few weeks, Cole. You've been very, very, very strong. And, one thing that me and Jake were kind of watching a little bit in the race is, you got a little bit different of a cadence on restarts tonight. There was a period of time where some guys had gotten a little close to you, but now I think they're going to have to second guess every single restart. So, Cole, with the field at your rear view, how's the truck feeling? How do you think your chances are for the end of this race? I know you got Michael Madden there in second, who's moved up from 13th to second. How do you feel coming here?
The truck's feeling really good right now. Like, I'm just really taking it easy, just saving my fuel, saving my tires, not trying to spin out by accident. But Michael Madden's an aggressive driver, so I have to watch out for him. But hopefully I can stay up here.
Well, Cole, we definitely appreciate your time here, buddy. We look forward to speaking with you maybe a little later in the night. We're going to get you back down to your team and get you through these gears again.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you, buddy. Good night. Well, Jake, there you have it. Our race leader, Cole Martin, in that 85 truck. Definitely has seen some up-front time the last few weeks, but Michael Madden there on his outside definitely has something to say about it. So they're going to come through these gears here again. Cole Martin's going to get into the gas. He gets a good restart. Going to break away a little bit from Michael Madden. Madden's going to try to get down in front of Nathan Nixon. He drives it deep, buddy. Nathan Nixon going to have a good run.
He's going to open the door, though. The 33, Nathan Nixon, going to get to his inside. He's going to lose not one but two positions. As the 62 of Matt Johnson's going to get to his inside as they head into 3.
Oh, and they touch again.
Make a little contact.
More spots here. Yeah, he might lose a few.
And he gets bailed out by another yellow, Dean. Another yellow.
Here, turn 3 and 4.
Another yellow. Jason Cracky, the 54 from R&D Motorsports. It looks like the 10 of Walt Lipicki from Tank Racing. Wow. The show goes on, though, Dean.
The show does indeed go on. I tell you what, that was a fun little restart right there. But let's take a look here at the bad parts of the restart, Jake, on the Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec Replay. Jason Kratke up here on the outside, and Corey Knight.
Oh, wow.
And the same thing we've seen all night long, Jake. And the thing is I want to take an onboard look from Corey here, so that way, you know, I'm certain some of our fans are going to say, man, these guys should know that they can't go 3 wide. But when you go and you actually look at it, look at how he thinks he's got this run, right? He thinks that truck's going to stay up there. He just kind of slams the brakes on it. I mean, around it goes. I mean, it's a tough deal, man. You know, it's hard to point fingers at some guys. It's hard to not give blame. It's hard to accept that it may be your fault yourself. But right there, just you know, Corey Knight just trying to get everything that he can get on this restart, and in the process of doing so, Jason Kratke and the 54 and the Jeffrey Stewart there in the 115 just going around.
Definitely, and you know, I kind of seen the same thing all night. You know, that's kind of the reason majority of our yellows are coming out, and that's just, you know, the complexity that Martinsville Speedway has is you gotta pinpoint the right spot every single time going into these corners. And when you're side by side or you're trying to gain, you know, on a truck in front of you like Corey was, you might miss your mark, and you miss it by a couple feet, man, and things like that wreck happen. You know, that's how it works here, Dean.
I think in all my years of racing, Jake, when it comes to Martinsville Speedway, I think the biggest thing that I see that causes yellows, no matter what the situation is, you can see that outside line up there right next to the wall. You have a lot of drivers who maybe are a little less experienced, maybe not as used to what's going on with the racing. That is the line that you want to be down those straightaways. You want to get that truck pointed all the way up there. And a lot of these guys, they'll kind of go to that groove right off that where the pace truck is, that second groove. And you don't get as sharp of an arc down there, but some guys do. You got some guys that will try to run this lane that all the race trucks are on right now, entering a corner. And it's all about the line. Martinsville is such a line-sensitive track, and when you have two guys running two different lines like that, Jake, they're going to come together. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
There you have it. The equation by Dean Brum and none other, giving you the reason why we've seen so many yellows here in Martinsville. I love it. I gotta ask you, gotta pick your brain about it. You heard Cole Martin, our leader, when we had him up in the booth, man. He noticed Michael Madden was behind him and kind of sounded a little nervous about the fact, knowing how aggressive Michael Madden is. You know, if you're Cole right now, Dean, could that lead you to make a mistake trying to overdrive the corner?
No, Jake, I tell you what, if anything, I'm worried about the guy behind me overdriving the corner. You know, when you're Cole, you've got the field to your rear, and he's going to take off again. You saw how hard Michael Madden drove.
Oh, Nathan Nixon gets into the wall. Sorry about
No, you're
talking
good.
Over you.
No, he looks. I couldn't tell if he spun the tires or what, but he definitely got into the wall, and that's going to let Cole Martin pull away big time. Michael Madden's going to be right to the fender of Nathan Nixon. He's going to put that truck down there to the inside. Going to rise up just a bit. He's up to second. He's going to have this spot enter in turn one, no question.
And just like that, though, you see Cole Martin's broken away already a little bit because these two are battling to over a second lead. I mean, that's just that's the beauty of being the leader, and you know the two guys behind you being side by side. How much faster you are being single file as opposed to two wide.
We got a parking lot.
Oh man, if you're Cole Martin, you got to hope you got a spot or something calling that yellow out because they are parked off the exit of turn 2.
Oh, it's gonna be close.
He's good. They're single filed and rolling, but man, oh man, that's short track racing right there. It can happen anywhere, and you know, even though you're the leader, man, you can run up to the back of it and things can happen.
Yeah, Jake, I tell you what, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen here on this rec replay because I mean that turn 2 just turned into a parking lot here, buddy.
Number 11 too.
Oh, 97.
Wow, a lot of damage. Shock. Oh my goodness. I mean, there's 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks involved. kind of looked like the start of the race almost. They're all lined up, ready to get rolling.
I mean, it almost looked like some of that iRacing Super Speedway action we got to see last week, Jake. Yeah, it looks like the Ford truck here.
He kind of pinches him. I mean, he's there on corner entry.
Oh, man.
Not trying to call anyone out, but, you know, the Ford was there before they got into the corner, and, you know, that's just how tight it is here, though. You know, you got to do it, but you got to remember there's a price to pay when you do it.
Yeah, it looks like Castellanos going to get down in there.
He was inside before the braking zone.
Oh, Castellanos got on the curb, Jake. He got on the curb.
Yeah, but Dean, the 97's not giving much room. You know, where's the 4 supposed to go, right? And everyone run. You know, you can run your race how you want. That's just, you know.
You got to definitely give room.
You can't complain if you're the 97. You know, I'm not saying Sean is, but anyone in that situation. I mean, the 4's there at the braking zone to your inside. You know, you want to pinch them, and that's just how it's going to work at Martinsville. And 97 went around, and I mean, these guys just nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Taylor Smith, Kevin Whitner, Jason Cracky able to skate through it there.
Right in it.
I don't think he got any damage, though. And, you know, I mean, for him, yeah. You know, at least you're locked into the playoffs, right? So, you know, at this rate, you're just trying to get a good finish, kind of turn your $5 into something more. And, you know, but hey, if you're someone that's, you know, 12th in points trying to point into the playoffs, it's something like that can ruin your night.
Yeah, Jake, without a doubt. I'm intrigued here to see how these last few restarts are going to go here on the day. Right now with Cole Martin up front, you know, he's got Michael Madden right behind him again. Matt Johnson moving up from 14th to 3rd. His truck is looks a little different there, a little skinnier in the back and in the front. Looks like he's seen some bumpers on his way through the field.
He's got it. He's got that thing thinned out, man. It's maybe a little bit more aerodynamic, a little less weight on it now that he's lost some sheet metal on that 62 truck. We'll see though, and that's the thing, right? You know, we're at a half-mile track. Damage doesn't really kill you because it's, you know, not really aerodynamic dependent.
Yeah, Jake, and like you said, it's definitely nowhere near aerodynamic opinion. So let's look here. Got this, and they're getting ready to go green. I didn't even realize, Jake. I wasn't even paying attention. Pace truck's off. Cole Martin's going to lead him back down. Looks like Madden's going to go ahead and get a pretty good run right behind him. Matt Johnson's going to be to the inside of Nathan Nixon.
Oh, 3 wide. Oh, no, they weren't.
I'm
sorry, Dana.
It's not the multi-groove track this week, guys. Keep them straight. Oh, man, this could be a mess here in a second.
It is, but Cole, you know, up front, they're kind of single file breaking away here. Oh, and there it is, yellow flag.
There it is.
Oh, man. 4 truck again. I think that's Castellanos turned around. 91 truck. Kyle Wimble said, "That's all my fault. Apologize." So that's always great to hear.
Oh yeah, Jake. You know, when you go through and you have a bunch of guys like this, and you get to go through a season like what we do, 20 weeks, you got to have respect for everybody. And on a track like this, I mean, this is the high tension month. You had Bristol 2 weeks ago, Martinsville tonight, Richmond next week. Richmond being a multi-group track, it'll be interesting to see how it races. But man, tonight we've got 50 more laps here at this one. Let's see what happens. Yeah, just that little bit of contact. Looks like the number 91. That is
Kyle Wimble. Kyle Wimble, the 91.
Kyle Wimble. Yeah, didn't he have to have a win to get in or to lock himself in?
Yeah, he was. It was him and Jack Johnson, I believe. And that's how close it is, man. And that's the product Martinsville gives you.
You know, right there, when you're Kyle Wimble, I mean, here's the thing. Like, he had that truck pointed perfectly, in my opinion. I mean, he drives it down here perfectly, rolls this corner perfect. And when he goes to get back in the gas, though, you know, he just, the nose of that truck kind of moves to the right just a little bit. It's a weird phenomenon, but when it winds up going through, that happens, you got a truck up there. Like I said, you hit him on that left rear fender, and around she goes, buddy.
Hey, great job spinning the truck around, though. That was pretty clean for Jose. I know that's not why he wants to be on the camera, but it was a beautiful job right there. I got to imagine, Dean, these guys aren't pitting. You know, I mean, we've had so many yellow flag caution laps. I got to imagine the fuel tank is going to last you these last 50, 40, 47 laps or whatever it is.
If you're Cole Martin, you've led every single lap this race, and the one thing you don't want to see here, Jake, with a little under 50 to go, you don't want to see a 10, a 15, a 20, 30. You don't want to see any type of a run here begin to develop and this race go green. Because if this thing starts to go green and you get another caution, that's going to start putting it in everyone's minds, maybe tires could be worth something here. We just had a decent little run. Maybe, tires could mean something on another run. So I think if I'm Cole Martin right now, I definitely like the position that I'm in. The only truck that I think's led more laps than he has tonight has been that Chevy Silverado pace truck, and right now he doesn't mind that one leading just because he's right behind him.
Yeah, you aren't kidding about the truck, the pace truck. It's been out a lot. It's led a lot of laps. Cole Martin's trying to beat it though. If we do get a green flag, and if you're Cole, like you were saying, if there is a 20, 30 lap run, if you're good on fuel, why pit? Why risk it? You could speed. You could miss your box. You could get beat out. Your race could go from amazing, from leading this thing in first place to anywhere but in the back of the pack, and you get involved in one of these wrecks. He gets such good restarts from being the leader and gets so far out in front of the field. I don't think you can risk losing that right now with 45 laps to go once we get back green flag racing this time.
These last few restarts, Jake, Cole Martin has gone a little earlier than he did in the start, and it's allowed him to get a very, very good restart. I'm very, very interested to see here if Michael Madden picks up on that or Matt Johnson. But Cole's going to have the field at his command again. They're going to roll through 3 and 4, and he goes early again. Let him get a big run down here. Matt Johnson gets a little bit of loose. He saves a good save by Matt Johnson.
He's going to have a shallow entry underneath Nathan Nixon. Those two make it clear. Got in a wreck about 7th place back. Got a truck stop on the outside wall. Not too sure who it was. They got touched from the inside, and Corey Knight turned around.
Cody Madden.
Yeah. And again, Dean, here we are, right? Sandwich Man Racing, Sports Memorabilia, wreck replay, showing you what happened here on track.
Let's see here, Jake.
Let's see here.
Up here for turn 1.
Oh, a little too hot.
Who is that?
Byron McDonald.
McDonald. Yeah, he got on that curb again, Jake.
You see Corey Knight getting spun from behind back there. Guys just know where to go, trying to miss the wreck. Travis Trevelyan, heck of a drive around the outside to make it through that wreck.
Everybody just locking it up there behind it, seeing the wreck. And that's, once again, Jake, talking about being at the mercy of other drivers. Man, I tell you what, that almost looked net Cody too. I mean, they were going to come together. They were. But just the actual start of the spin, I swear it looked like there was 6 inches of space between Byron's bumper and Cody's. Let's take a look here.
We'll take a look. Got to imagine this camera angle is going to be... Oh, yeah, they definitely made contact, Dean.
Okay.
I want to go get that prescription checked out, Dean. I'm sure SRN's got a good sponsor for eye care.
All the sodium from these hot dogs this weekend, man, it's just taking a little bit of an effect.
We see Corey Knight. We saw him kind of get spun out behind the actual Sean Kozer, the 97, getting involved in him.
Oh, man, who was that? The 54.
The 54.
Well, Jake, the one thing that you can definitely say about the race here tonight is if you've managed to be in one wreck, you've somehow managed to find your way in every single one of them. As bad as it is to say, it seems like we're definitely mentioning the same names here, yellow after yellow, and that's just the bad side of being trapped back into the latter half of the field.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right, is it's been happening back there, and I think that's just guys trying to make their march to the front. They've seen a few guys. Obviously, we've named a couple guys that have started in the back of the pack that are, inside the top 10. You got Byron McDonald, who started 22nd. He's in 8th. Josh Mueller is in 6th. Started 11th. Michael Madden and Nathan Nixon, Michael Madden and Matt Johnson started 13th and 14th. Those two drivers are 2nd and 3rd. So, it's possible. And, the guy in 11th place, Jonathan Byer, started 31st, so he's picked up 20 spots. So, it can be done. You just got to be smart about it and not put yourself in any situation like we've seen. Oh my goodness, that truck
Oh my goodness, is that Andrew Harris down there on the inside? I wonder if he's got a penalty and has to go to the back of the field, Jake.
Wow. I mean, that was just like random, Dean.
That was.
Oh, this is going to be a mess for him trying to get his spot back because they're trying to go green.
Man, I wonder what happened here. They may have to delay this green, Jake. Yeah, they did. They delayed it.
Still
they
did
delayed
green.
it. Yeah, we've.
Oh, they didn't.
Did they not?
That's 2 to green.
Oh,
I'm man.
Sorry. Man, yeah, we got to get.
All right, Dean. It's okay, Dean.
Numbers are hard, Jake. Numbers are hard. I tell you what. But I tell you what, Jake. In terms of numbers, like we said, the 2 numbers I'm looking at here, for sure, are Michael Madden there in second, 13th to second, Matt Johnson there from 14th to third. I mean, that row right there, Jake. But with Madden and Johnson, that must be the hub of moving to the front of the field.
Yeah, and I just want to point out too, Andrew Harris just said his iRacing froze, so that was the reason for him just randomly hitting the wall. So and that's just the beauty of iRacing with technology. You can lag out of a race, your computer can freeze. So here we are, gonna have another restart. Cole Martin been in the lead all night long.
And I tell you what, Matt Johnson's gonna try to get a break to the inside of Madden. Madden's gonna have a little bit of room here to move down, but no. He's to the inside.
Oh,
no. Big wreck at the start-finish line. Oh, he's stuck,
Dean.
He's stuck in that safer barrier, Jake. That 224 is going to be towing without a question.
That is tough to see, man.
And the leaders are down here to the start-finish line, so that's going to be real close. But let's see what happened here on the Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec Replay.
Oh, just got loose all by himself, tried to save it, overcorrected it a little bit, and man, oh man, unfortunate for the 224, Cody Riggs, man.
Oh, yeah, look at that. He's trying to get those tires spinning and just nothing's happening.
And that's, again, talk on technology, and that doesn't happen in real life, obviously. Wow, it rubber bands him back. Good thing a truck didn't hit him right when that happened. I gotta imagine we would have saw a truck flipping down the front at Martinsville, something you're not accustomed to seeing here. So Dean, man, we've seen a lot of yellows here tonight for the trucks. These guys have 2 faster pairs. Xfinity only has 1, and Cup obviously has none. Do you think we'll see this tomorrow night and Sunday night?
Oh, Jake, that's a tough question, man. I mean, the big thing it's going to be is it's going to be a level of experience. It's going to be a level of practice. These trucks, if you've watched any of our broadcasts before, you'll hear me preach how light these trucks are in the rear end. And with the brakes, the way that they are, they just... So even though we have fixed setups for everyone at home, the drivers have a couple little tweaks that they can do to these trucks. They can change basically when they put their steering wheel on. In your passenger car at home, you have a 12 o'clock all the way around, just like a clock, right? And 12 o'clock is always top dead center of your wheel. These drivers can take that, they can move that to where their steering wheel, their top dead center may be off to your 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever it may be. Another thing that they can do is they can put bigger steering boxes in the trucks. And what that will do is that will mean that you have to kind of turn the wheel a little more to actually make the trucks roll a corner to move. And over the course of a long run, depending on the track, that can help save some tires. And the last thing that they can do is they can adjust brake bias. And what brake bias is, these trucks have a different braking system, right? The fronts and the rears are completely independent of one another. And so what will happen when you push the brake pedal, either your front brakes will have more brake pressure and do more work, or you can make your rear brakes have more pressure and do more work. And right now at Martinsville, what I'm seeing a lot of here this evening is I'm seeing a lot of guys who are wheel hopping getting into the corner because they have entirely too much rear brake pressure. And so what's happening is their front brakes are not slowing that momentum into the corner down the way that it needs to. And those rear tires are just kind of pushing the truck even more. So, Jake, to your point, I think that we are going to see a lot of chaos Sunday, especially with close to 900 horsepower We're going to see a lot of chaos here. Oh, Cole Martin's getting a little bump there from Matt Johnson.
I'm not too sure what's going on because he's got trucks right in front of him.
Oh,
that
man.
was really odd.
Oh, man, that was weird, Jake.
They didn't get caught. Oh, this is going to be it. If we somehow get a green flag run and these leaders catch these lap down cars, man, this is going to be very, very interesting here, Dean.
Oh, it definitely is. Oh, man, Jake, this is going to be crazy. I think these guys were wave around trucks, and they didn't realize it was time to wave around. The pace truck pulled off, and then they tried to go. But to my point, Jake, what I was saying is I think with the Xfinity cars and the Cup cars having more horsepower, it's definitely going to be a little more interesting, just to see what type of racing they can accomplish. Cole Martin's going to begin to catch some lap traffic here. He's going to go underneath Travis Trevelyan. But like I said, Jake, I think a lot of these guys who are up front and successful right now between...
Oh, they're too wide in front of our leader.
Oh, it's going to let Michael Madden get right up on his bumper.
Oh, man. This is as
real
as
to
it
get this
gets.
settled. He's going to get to the out. What a move by Cole Martin.
This is going to be nerve-wracking. This is not going to...
Oh, this is crazy. He's to his outside. He clears him. Oh, caution's out. Oh, right in front of him, Andrew Harris.
Oh,
man.
Baby.
Hey, Jake, back to my last point.
His teammate, Andrew Harris.
Yeah. Back to my last point, and I'm going to shut up about it. I think these guys who are up front right now, even though these are fixed setups, I think these are the guys who have figured out their brake bias and their steering ratio is a little better than the rest and are able to roll these corners and just get around this place at a good pace.
Yeah, definitely. And, bringing you the engineering and physics class, Dean Brummett, giving you the lowdown on how these trucks and setups work. I love it. Bringing an informational broadcast, everything like that, Dean. Heck of a description for our viewers. But you see here, Andrew Harris kind of just spun out all on his own, and I think he blew up because you saw the puff of smoke from him.
I'm trying to figure out what happened here.
And it blew up.
I don't know, Jake. I mean, that was just so weird. He came off the corner and then he turned right into the 92. What happened?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe when he slammed the inside wall, Dean, it gave him some damage. And the engine was about to blow up or something.
Oh, man, Jake, I don't halfway wonder. You remember just a few minutes ago before we went green, we had said that his computer had cut out on him. I wonder if he didn't just have the same issue kind of transpire right there. Let's just see here. Yeah, see, this was his cutout right when we were getting ready to go to green. You just see how abruptly the truck turned to the left. Jake, I'm telling you, I don't halfway wonder if that just wasn't a computer issue. The quote unquote engine of that truck.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, we won't know unless we ask them what happened there. It was very odd looking, kind of the same situation we saw down the front. But here we are with our 15th yellow of the race. Cole Martin, Michael Madden up front, Matt Johnson in third, who we saw, after last week at Bristol, hopped into the top 15 for points. So if he's able to keep in third place or even better, another solid night, going to solidify him in that points battle for the playoffs.
Yeah, Jake, I tell you what, that was a very interesting restart that last time. That was fun to watch, and I don't know what happened with Matt Johnson and Cole Martin. I don't know if Cole didn't know if it was time to go green or what, or if Matt Johnson was just trying to get him pushed and trying to time it a little too well. But Cole Martin's definitely got some damage now on the back of that 85 truck.
Hey, it definitely does. But honestly, Dean, it ain't gonna work. Nothing to worry about if you're Cole.
Let's just look here. He's leading them down his pace. He's got control of the field.
I think Matt's just trying to time it, man.
Yeah, I think Matt's just trying to time it and get him going. And I mean, if anything, even though it crinkled up that back bumper just a little bit for the 85, I mean, it got him shot out of a cannon. So I think he's kind of sitting there saying, "Hey, if you don't spin me out, I'll take shots like that all day long."
Definitely, and here we are. We only got 24 laps to go already, so it's winding down to go time. I think we're going to see some crazy moves from guys, further back in the pack trying to pick up some spots. As they know, time's winding out. We're going to get 23 laps to go when Cole Martin starts or passes the finish line here on this restart.
Yeah, Jake, and I tell you what, the restart's a little tighter here this time. Cole Martin definitely does get a break. Matt Johnson did not get a very good restart, but he's going to be down to the inside of Nathan Nixon there, back for the third spot. 2x2 for 2 rows. They're going to work their way up off of turn number 2.
Car in the grass. Byron McDonald was over the curb into the grass.
And Jake,
Yeah, that's your point, man.
sorry, buddy. Go ahead. I was just going to say up front, they're back to single file for the first few spots.
Yeah, they are. And Cole Martin, man, is, obviously trying to get it done, trying to lead every single lap, wire to wire, here at Martinsville Speedway. Kind of makes you wonder, too. Obviously we've had a lot of yellows, but could they run out? We don't know the fuel situation. Kind of wish we could have asked Cole, where they stand on fuel. Obviously, if we do get a longer green flag run like it's starting to shape out to be right here, does Cole have enough fuel to make it to the end? Obviously, side-by-side action a little further back in the pack for 14th and 15th spot. This is they're already almost half a track behind our leader too. Then that's just how. Oh, I hear someone spinning out in the middle of 1 and 2. I believe that was Byron McDonald. Around. Yellow flag is out. 66, Jonathan Byer.
Oh, they're still stacking up over there. Oh, we have parking lotted, Jake.
Again. Wow.
Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec Replay, Jake.
I'll tell you what, they are loving that contract they signed with Speed Racing Network. Taylor Smith in the 24, Jonathan Byer. Oh, Brandon Domain gave him a little love tap and got onto the grass, and that's his 75. Got a huge hit. Corey Saucier involved. I saw 3 Jonathan Byer Racing trucks involved in that accident, and you see he's got to back it up, hitting the wall because he doesn't have enough room to get around or fully turn the truck around. Kind of got himself in an awkward situation with that really, really high late entrance into 1. Tried cutting it back down to the bottom, and the 20 truck was there, and they make contact, and the 66 is around, and then a lot of trucks just nowhere to go, getting run into or running into this wreck or getting run over from behind, sending them into the wreck off of the exit of turn 2. Oh man, a lot of carnage, a lot of tore up trucks, sheet metal. Probably about 9-10 trucks involved there, Dean. Oh, sounds like Dean Brumman's batteries have gone out, but hey, here we are. 17 laps to go. Cole Martin still leading it. We'll run you through the top 10, and Cole Martin is leading this thing. Michael Mann from Rev Racing in second. Matthew Johnson in the 61 truck for Jonathan Byer Racing. The 33, Nathan Nixon from Rev Racing, is in 4th. 5th place is going to be Vincent Cortez out of Tank Racing, that nice red bull paint scheme. 6th place, one of our independent drivers, is going to be Kevin Winker. Josh Mueller, the 26 for Tank Racing, is in 7th. 8th place is going to be the 24, Taylor Smith. 9th place from Stryker Motorsports is going to be Brandon Domain. And 10th place is going to be the 91 of Kyle Wimble for Jonathan Byer Racing. So that's your top 10 right now as it sits. But like we've seen all night, in a couple laps, this thing could be changed once we get back green flag racing.
I know, Jake, and it makes it a little more fun here when it looks like both of us are having some mic issues tonight. So just what a blast, right?
Definitely, and that's the beauty of it, right? Technology and things like that, it happens, but we got you back loud and clear. We're gonna have probably 13, 14 laps to go once this thing goes back green. So, it's never say never, right? But does Michael Madden have enough time with all these yellows coming out? The drive off the high side on the restart to even be able to get a shot to pass Cole Martin.
Jake, my only thing, and maybe some of our SRN statisticians could get on it here, have we ever had a flag-to-flag winner here in the SRN?
I don't believe we have, Dean. I don't think that's ever happened in history for Speed Racing Network. So we could be seeing history here with this 85 truck. He's going to lead them back to the green with 14 laps to go here in the Clippy 125. Another great restart. Really pulls away from the outside driver, Michael Madden. as they barrel down into turn 1.
Matt Johnson's going to get that run to the inside here, Jake. He's going to secure his third place spot. Right now, well, actually, it looks like Nixon's going to give him a little bit of a run back. But right now, Jake, oh, that was close heading into turn 3 or 4. We got 2 trucks touching right behind Nathan Nixon.
Oh, we got one turning on that front stretch.
Oh, big wreck. Oh, this about to be bad,
wreck.
Jake.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, poor Saucier. Oh, Saucier got turned. He was squeaking through it. Oh, my gosh. So many trucks involved. It's not even funny how many guys just got involved in that accident.
I'll tell you what, that could have been the worst wreck of the night right there, Jake. That could have turned into an absolute roadblock.
Oh, there's a parking lot down into 1 still, man. You're these leaders. You got to get checked up so you're not getting run over from behind. I mean, cautions breed cautions, but don't wreck under yellow. So I believe that was Vincent Cortez to the inside of the 42. Those two made contact kind of normal here in Martinsville, and then these two, net code, man. 42 into the right rear of the 26. Net code sent him around the rear end, shot the 3 around, and there was carnage there down the front. The 3 truck of Corey Saucier already locked into this thing, but you want to have a good finish even if you're locked in. That smoke too right there, Dean, is the 42 locking the left front up into that corner. And
Jake, buddy,
man,
I know you said net code, but buddy, I'm gonna have to disagree. I think that was a self clear gone wrong, buddy.
Well, we'll see, right? Let's back it up.
Let's run it slow mo, see what happens.
And you ask a lot about out of our production booth, man.
I know, right? I mean, I'm just glad we have a great production booth. So let's just see here.
Yeah, it was inevitable, yeah.
Yeah, they're into each other.
I mean, that's net code right there, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, but at that point,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Dean. I know.
I mean, I don't know how to be wrong, Jake. I don't blame anybody else for being wrong.
I'll tell you what, Byron McDonald, if he didn't get run over from behind, man, great job avoiding that thing. Kind of all involved, it all unraveled right in front of him.
I'll tell you what, we already ran our throwback weekend this season, Jake, at Darlington, but I'll tell you what, these spoilers on these trucks sticking straight up in the air, very reminiscent of the...
Wow, did he get through this? Oh, he kind of got a little shot. That's all right, though. Wow.
That's all right. Oh, man, look at the piece of work.
I mean, it's like a minefield, Dean.
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of these drivers out here, Jake, with the damage to their rear end, their throwback weekend is the old 2001 General Motors spoilers from the NASCAR Cup Series. Instead of being nice and flat, you remember how those, they kind of came to a peak in the middle. Yeah, they kind of came to a peak in the middle, and that's kind of what Byron McDonald's rear spoiler looked like. But, Jake, I tell you what, buddy, we're within 10 laps to go, and the fans here at Martinsville are going to get themselves a great show here to the end. I think if we can get us a little run here, this might come down to just who gets the better restart.
Yeah, you saw that. We've already had 17 yellows. Honestly, man, I think this thing's going to end under yellow.
Could you imagine that? Can you imagine that, Jake? Our first flag-to-flag winner potentially in Cole Martin, and he would even lead more laps if we did end it under yellow than than we're scheduled.
Who would have thought, right? And it has never pit too. Hopefully, we don't put the broadcaster's curse, on this restart. Hopefully, it doesn't go down into turn 1 and lock him up, wheel hopping around he goes, and loses the lead. We don't want to wish that upon anyone. But we'll see here, man. Cole's got 7 laps to go. Once we get back green flag racing, man.
Yeah, Jake, this will be fun here, buddy. My big thing that I'm looking at, like I said, you've got over 100 laps on these tires, close to 120 if you're just about everybody up there. Let's just see what happens. One truck I'm watching here, third truck on the outside, that 20, Brandon Domain, working his way back to the front. Cole Martin's going to get that good restart. Down for turn 1 he goes.
Oh, beautiful right there. You saw the 15 be in front of him a little bit. Cole kind of lagged back.
They're going to get a big run here. I'll tell you what, Michael did not get a very good run up off of that corner, and it's going to let Matt Johnson get to his inside here. Gives him room.
Squeezes him up, man.
Cuts him a break.
Oh, the Nixon round. Oh, another wreck, too, in the middle of 3 and 4, man. There's all kinds of wrecks.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, that was something. Oh! No! Oh, boy. Oh, boy, Jake. Oh, boy, indeed. I think our mouse friend just found his way into the booth a moment ago.
Wow. I mean,
The things we do to keep ourselves.
we got cars stuck up against the wall. Oh, thank God our leaders are getting by it, man. It looks like another truck is stuck. Oh man, there's tempers are flaring, man. This is. I think our production truck, Dean, might be on fire with all the chaos going on here, trying to pull back camera angles, everything like that. I tell you what, though, Sandwich Man Racing Replay is getting nice and toasty in that production booth.
Yeah, I don't know what type of sandwich it is, but I can tell you right now, it's probably a double decker tonight.
Where'd he go? It's I-75 through downtown Atlanta and rush hour right there.
That's, oh my God. Look,
I mean, the 91 might have the winning move of the race. Maybe just put it in reverse, see what happens. I don't know. Forward is not working for a lot of these guys, unfortunately. You know, that's nothing against Kyle Wimble. He's a good driver. It's just, I mean, everything is just going wrong for a lot of these guys.
Oh man, Mueller.
Yeah, nothing wrong doing by the 91. Just wow.
Jake, I mean,
good thing we're
when you're stuck right there. When you're stuck right there, Jake, I mean, how helpless of a feeling is that?
Where did he go?
Jake,
Corey Knight has nowhere to go. Yeah, Nathan Nixon was, you know, I believe this is what brought the yellow out initially. Oh, Cortez hard on the brakes, locks him up a little, or not, wheel hops. Oh, the 33 just didn't think he was there, and, well, the 69 was there.
Jake, when you're with those drivers like that, how helpless of a feeling is that? Just kind of seeing that wall of smoke in front of you and having nowhere to go.
You know, Dean, this is what I do. I hold the wheel straight, close my eyes, and slam on the brake, and whatever happens, happens, right?
It happened.
I mean, there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go right there. You know, not for that, obviously, but the one in the middle of 3 and 4, there's literally no place to go on the track. I mean, here, this is going to be a great view from our blimp up above Martinsville Speedway. It all happened, you know, 15 trucks in front of the 42, and I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, there's a dozen, if not more, trucks involved.
Jake, I tell you, I'm looking here, and it's going to come down to a green-white checker, okay?
You don't say, huh?
Well, yeah, right. Well, we're going to have green-white checker attempt.
Hey, 18th caution. I'm sorry, 18th yellow. I got to bring it up.
Well, Jake, if we manage to end this race under caution, that would mean that we would at least have tied our record. So I don't think we're going to break it tonight, but we're at least going to have green-white checker attempt number 1. We're going to take the green flag, then we're going to come back around for the white flag, and then the checkered flag. But Cole Martin is going to go ahead here. His pace truck's off. He's going to get a big jump here, and that might be the win of the race.
He gets back to the. Hey, I'm not going to lie to you, Dean. He needs to be very, very careful. There's not a wreck in 3 and 4 when he gets the
Matt
white
Johnson underneath Michael Madden. Matt Johnson's going to have the second place here, Jake. Oh, he goes. Oh!
Oh my gosh!
Oh, one car hard into the water barrier there.
You know who that reminded me of? Martin Truex Jr. back about 2013, 2012 had the same type of wreck in the Napa 56 car, Dean, that just happened to the 62 of Matt Johnson. I tell you what, that driver is not going to be happy with that. You know, he's a very clean driver, and I mean, to get spun driver's side door to the outside wall, I mean,
we're going to have to take a look here, Jake, and see what happens. Let's see. Oh. Wow. Oh. We're going to have to
stop. And dude, that's a guy who just worked his way into the playoff picture.
We're going to have to see another view of that, Jake. I need that overhead because I
know you do. You love your camera angles.
I love my camera angles. Got to give a big
Here we go. Down the back. 61 of Matt Johnson.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's...
And then the Corey Stoss here, I believe that was, who slammed it. I mean, he's locked in, so whatever. This is a wash, but for the 61, this is playoff implications, Dean Brummett.
Yeah,
he gets a great run on the inside of him.
He does. And I mean, he's got this inside.
And then all of a sudden, he's going to be seeing Pepsi. Wow.
Man, that's a hard turn to the right. I just hope Matt's okay. That's a rough shot there, dude.
I cannot believe you just said that.
That's a rough shot, man. That's We got to do what we can to keep ourselves occupied. Man, that's just dude. I'll tell you what. That's gonna have some.
Wow. You gotta say it, wow.
That's gonna have some major playoff implications there, Jake. I mean, that's. I don't know. I don't know what we view as a racing deal, what we view as what, but that's I don't know, man. That's
Corey, I think, is just on the brakes. Boom! Virtual water or sand is all over the track now. Wow. I mean, Dean,
I don't know what to say.
How many hot dogs are you on? I think you've been having one every yellow, right? So you're on 19?
Something like that. That looks. That's Jake. I don't know what to say there, man. I mean,
see, here's the thing, Dean. I'm very worried if on the 15, right? You just that happened. You got guys behind you now that saw you do it. It opens the door, right?
I think it opens the door up here to be a little more aggressive. The big thing with it is if you're someone there in fourth like Brandon Domain, once again, playoff implications. Do you want to use that bumper today to potentially get it returned to you down the road? And Jake, this is right now. I don't even know who's going to win this race. I can't Cole Martin's got the field to.
I mean, they're wrecking for 30th under the yellow back there.
We're getting ready to have a green flag again. Green white checker attempt number 2. And Cole Martin's on the throttle again.
Cole early, doing a great job on these restarts. I mean, what I'm saying, he better hope when he takes the white, there is not a wreck in 3 and 4 because there's going to be cars scattered all across the track.
Oh yeah, Jake. He's.
Oh my gosh, and Matt Johnson here. I think we're going to see Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano.
Oh, let's see.
2015. I hope we don't, man.
Caution's out. Caution's out.
We got to watch it though.
Oh, Michael Madden got into the back of Johnson there, Jake.
I think we got to get this camera. I think he wants payback, dude.
He does. He's hunting him. He's getting.
Cole Martin needs to get out of there.
Oh my goodness, Jake. Well, I said playoff implications.
Yeah.
And, I don't know how that's going to go over. How that's going to go over with the booth here, up here high atop of Martinsville Speedway.
Cole Martin.
The driver of the number 62 has been disqualified and asked to report to the SRN hauler after the race.
I tell you what, Cole's got to be aware of that kind of thing, man. You don't want some stupid taking yourself out or getting yourself taken out like that. Wow.
I mean, I know we had the wreck back here to cause the caution, but let's just see here. The caution comes out.
Yeah, and this is where it was.
Yeah,
that's to the outside of Cole right here. Cole gets by him.
Yeah,
and then, it's payback, right?
And
you just get taken out and you're running P2.
And he just slams the brakes on in front of Michael. Michael kind of gets a little bit of damage. And then Matt's going to come back up here. And watch this. He's going to slam.
He's frustrated. I mean, he's teed off, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's upset.
He's going to give him a shot.
He does. He's going to try to get him around a little bit. And we just have no place for that here at Speed Racing Network. I get being frustrated, but we just have no place for it. And immediately after this, he was black flagged, told to come off the track, go to the garage, and he's going to be going to the principal's office, I imagine, after the race, buddy. Oh
yeah, there's going to be some discussions about that, and there was comments made in the race chat too about it, and it is we'll move on. Up front, Cole Martin, last green white checkered, so he's just praying for the white or the yellow flag, and he's got this thing. I don't think there's a chance. The outside
that's caution. Jake, that's caution 20. If we make it to the white, we will not break our record. But if we do not make it to the white flag and we have another caution, we will break our record.
21 hot dogs down with another yellow.
Well, I mean, listen.
You've used the whole bottle of mustard and ketchup already up here, Dean.
I know, buddy.
It's impressive, buddy.
They're running out over here, man.
Joey Chestnut has new competition. Speed Racing's own Dean Brummett.
Oh man! Well, I'll tell you what. The competition right now is going to be a 2-lap shootout, Jake. These guys have been here for a good while. The sun's starting to set here at Martinsville Speedway, and like I said,
train's coming by, man.
The train's coming by. Cole Martin here is going to try to nail one more perfect restart as he has all night long. He's nailed 20 perfect starts so far here, Jake, between the start and all the other restarts. So let's just see if he can hit one more perfect one. We're going to find out.
You would hate to see him mess this up.
And he doesn't, though, Jake. He's got the break.
He's gone, man.
Brandon O'Main's going to get third here, Jake.
Yeah, this is going to be a race for P2,
P3. And caution's out, Jake. We've got our record, and Cole Martin is going to be your winner here. And, Jake, I picked Corey Saucier this evening. Unfortunately, he has just had all the trouble in the world, and my broadcaster's curse has been pretty rough on everybody the last few weeks. So if you're a driver in the series who's needing some extra points and you need someone passed, hit me up, and I'll pick them for my my driver to win the next few weeks.
Cole Martin led every single lap. He's gonna win it, man. Assuming he doesn't get himself stuck in the wall, right? And here we go. Cole Martin's gonna cross the line. Led every single lap. 85 Bronco Motorsports. Cole Martin gonna win it.
Get that little congratulatory tap. That 15 and here they're gonna come back around here, Jake. Was that the checkered or was that the white right there that they just got?
Yeah, that was the checkered, big dog.
Let me see. Okay, yeah, they're starting to spread out a bit. I don't know.
Maybe we have another restart?
No, that's it. That's it.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go.
Well, Cole's going to come up here and burn it down. It's team tradition here with Bronco. When one guy wins, they all win. So, Jake, that's their...
his teammate's gone. There's only two of them in here.
Well, that's the fourth win. Fourth win of the season for Bronco.
There it is. Finally breaks him loose.
He said, "You know what? I've had these tires on here for 130 some odd laps. I'm going to get them warmed up just a little bit for once."
Oh! Why? Oh man!
Oh, wow. Jake, I tell you what, buddy, that was some interesting. That was an interesting 130 laps that we had here, buddy. But right now, Cole Martin's going to be celebrating. We'll take a look here at our results here in just a moment. But Cole Martin coming home in first, and Michael Madden in second.
Finally getting involved in some wrecks after the race. He wanted himself some wrecks.
He said, "Listen, I had the best view of all of them." But Jake, we're going to have Cole Martin here in first from Bronco Motorsports. Michael Madden from Rev Racing started 13th, worked his way all the way up to second. Brandon Domain from Stryker Motorsports in third. Vincent Cortez from Tank Racing in fourth. Byron McDonald, our co-broadcaster, started 22nd, made his way up to 5th, Jake. Josh Mueller there in 6th place from Tank Racing. Cody Madden from H2K Motorsports in 7th. Jack Johnson in 8th. Rob Yost in 9th. And Nathan Nixon from Rev Racing after that earlier contact, going to bring it home in a top 10 spot.
And 11th place, another Rev Racing guy, Sean Kozier. 12th place going to be Kevin Winkler, one of our independent drivers. 13th, Bobby Anderson for R&D Motorsports. 14th is going to be James Kerr, the Jonathan Byer Racing Machine. 15th place is going to be Taylor Smith from Team SRN. 16th is Jose Castellanos from Stryker Motorsports. 17th place, Brad Yonkman, the 93 truck for Team SRN. 18th in the 115 is Jeffrey Stewart for H2K. 19th, Tevin Whitner bringing home the 9 truck for Team SRN in 19th. And Jonathan Byer rounding out our top 20, Dean, for Jonathan Byer Racing.
Yeah, Jake, and I'll tell you what, the big three here up front, Cole Martin, Michael Madden, and Brandon Domain this evening. Top three at any track's always going to be difficult, but for Cole, he led every single lap. But I tell you what, let's go down here and talk to a guy who was involved in a little bit earlier of an accident, our third-place finisher, Brandon Domain. Let's see if we can't get him on the line, Jake. Brandon Domain, Dean Brummett, and Jake Rowell up here in the Speed Racing Network booth. Buddy, a third-place finish this evening for your team, Stryker Motorsports. How was that race for the last little bit here, buddy?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm pretty sure all the bad luck I've had at the end of races finally turned a little bit there. But first of all, sorry to anybody watching this. I'm sure that was not the most exciting thing to be watching, but it was kind of fun working up from, I think at one point I was 31st after making a pit stop, and just real happy to finally get back up in a good finish and taking third there for Grid Finder and IR Bodies and obviously Striker Motorsports. So it's finally nice to be able to mention Grid Finder after a good finish here this week.
Well, buddy, you definitely drove your way through the field. We saw you in some earlier incidents, and as it was coming to the end of it, I was kind of looking up there, and it made me laugh because you were the only truck who had used a fast repair. You were the only clean fendered vehicle, even in the top 5. And I mean, with going through a race like this, was it more skill, more luck, and who all is it? Who all helped you put this effort together today?
Oh man, I mean, everybody back on the team. We had Travis and Jose tonight. Near the end there, after Travis had some issues, Kyle kind of came on and helped spot there that last one. And always appreciative for you two for helping out here and there with our practices, giving advice. That little partnership there, the old team thing there. So, but I mean, as far as this race, I mean, man, I had enough damage to the front after somebody checked up on one of probably what was that 24, 25 cautions. And I was worried about the engine going. So I just decided, you know what, I'll just go into the back. And then it was just patient and just picking off one at a time. And people just kept having issues, and I was just, staying away from it. And so a little bit of luck, a little bit of patience, a little bit of skill, and just all kind of worked in my favor there.
Definitely did here, Brandon. And man, I've been breaching your good graces this entire season, talking about how all you needed was just a little bit of luck and just to not get in it at the end of a race. And today it happened, man. 3rd place finish, Brandon Domain from Striker Motorsports. Brandon, we're going to get you back down to your team. You guys have yourself a great evening. I
appreciate it. Y'all too.
Hey, thank you, buddy. Well, Jake, that was our 3rd place finisher, Brandon Domain from Striker Motorsports. Why don't we go ahead and look here and see about getting Michael Madden? He's been in the booth multiple times this season. Michael Madden, Dean Brummett, and Jake Roel up here in the Speed Racing Network booth. It seems like it's a weekly thing here to be able to speak to you, buddy. Another 2nd place finish. How you doing this evening?
Yeah, man, I enjoy speaking to you boys, but I just hate the position I'm finishing in every single week, boys.
Well, man, we've gotten to see a lot of great people over the years between Casey Kane and Kyle Larson, who seem to be known for their 2nd place finishes, but eventually, man, they all break out. Michael, you started 13th, worked your way up here to 2nd. Some carnage along the way, a lot of cautions here this evening that we saw at Martinsville. Man, what do you attribute to the 2nd place finish? Luck, skill? What was going through your head the entire night?
No, it was just now I kind of know how Kyle Busch feels sometimes with his finishes, but no, I was just trying to avoid the chaos and survive. I don't know if skill had anything to do with it. It was just more of just running under yellow. I had something for the 85. I felt like I just had to keep playing defense. That 61 there. I don't know what his problem was, but he kind of ruined my chances there at the end. But it was just starting on that top side. It was very slick, and I just couldn't get my tires down every restart. So I didn't have enough time to make up the gap I lost to Cole on the restarts to catch him because we kept getting every caution, every lap it seemed like. So, but I'll take the 2nd place, and like I said, you guys every week we just stacking pennies here in the championship, and that's all we can do.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, Michael, we definitely appreciate the effort here this evening, man. Like I said, 13th to 2nd, nothing to fret about here at Martinsville Speedway. Anybody that you'd like to thank before we let you get back down to your team?
Yep, I want to thank my mom for watching. She's going to surgery tomorrow, so all my thoughts and prayers are with her. I tried to get the win for her, but there's always next week. And just want to thank all the boys at Rev Racing and Sean, all the guys at Sparkle and Shine, Elite 3 Asphalt, putting this deal on for me. And we'll see you boys in Richmond. Thank you.
Hey, buddy, we'll see you. Have a good night.
You too.
I gotta love it with him, Dean. The stacking pennies saying he's got. I mean, he's not getting the wins he wants. Obviously, he wants to win every week, but these top 3 finishes week in and week out, man, it adds up. It really does, and got to boost his confidence moving into the playoffs.
Well, I tell you what, Jake, we had 2 different records set this evening here at Speed Racing Network. Number 1, unfortunately, was for the most cautions at 21, but we have our winner in victory lane yet again, Cole Martin, congratulations on the win and being the first ever driver in Speed Racing Network history to lead flag to flag. Got it done here tonight, Cole. How's it feel, buddy?
It feels pretty good. I mean, it kind of sucks that I set the record mostly under caution, but I mean, I'll take it.
I mean, Cole, hey, it might not be the way you want to do it, but you lead every single lap, you win the race. You know, we're 1 week away from the playoffs. How confident are you now with, you know, the run we've seen you had these last 5-6 weeks? You know, you're kind of making a name for yourself in the sense that, you know, early on it was looking like it was going to be a 2-horse race for the championship with Michael Menn and Corey Saucier. But I mean, you've really turned the heat on these the last month or so, Cole. You know, how are you feeling, you know, looking into the playoffs? You know, I know you want to make a run, but, you know, how do you feel?
Well, pretty confident. I think I'll have the most bonus points now, so I think I'll be the 1 seed, I guess, going in, unless they get more bonus points next week, I guess. And I mean, I had a bad start to the season. Got a couple 32nd place finishes, but I got more aggressive and started getting wins and top threes, and now we're at third in points, so doing pretty good.
Well, Cole, we've watched you here these last few weeks just absolutely dominate. And, man, you know, we know here what type of a team you've got there in Bronco Motorsports and, you know, able to go through, deliver them their 4th win as a team for the season, trying to climb those team championship standings. I know it can be a little bit of a daunting task when it's you in the lead trying to hope for everybody else behind you. But, man, what do you feel like you've got here? I know we got one more week before these playoffs. You know you're locked in. Are we going out here next week just to send it as hard as it can to get that win? We riding conservative? What's the game plan here for next week?
I'm going for the win, no matter what. I'm no conservative, but I mean, short tracks aren't my thing. I'm happy I got 2 wins out of it, but I mean, I think it's a pretty strong schedule for me. Maybe besides the road course for the playoffs, so I think I have a pretty good chance of this championship.
Well, Cole, you're definitely one of the championship favorites. I will tell you here, me and Jake this evening, neither one of us picked you to win this race because we're idiots. But you wound up going through, proving both of us wrong here, man. And congrats on another win. Who all do you have to thank tonight?
I have to thank Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia and Shoney's. Go check them out. They got some great food and some great die casts you can get.
Definitely, buddy. Well, congrats again on the win, Cole. I know you guys at Bronco Motorsports are gonna soak this one in and get a little Wild X Games mode. So enjoy the win, man. We'll see you next week at Richmond, and congrats again on the win, Cole.
Thank you.
Well, Jake Rowell, a record-setting night here yet again. It seems like every time you and I manage to jump in this booth, we have something new and exciting happen. So I tell you what, next week we go to our last race before the playoffs. This will be it for some people. Their last chance to get in at the Rich Get Richer 125 from Richmond International Raceway here on SRN next Wednesday, April the 14th.
Absolutely. It's that name, no pun intended. I mean, Cole Martin's got to be the favorite going into Richmond. He led wire to wire here tonight at a short track. We go to another one next week. The rich are going to get richer, I think, at Richmond for Cole. But again, our next broadcast, we're here back tomorrow night on Speed Racing Network for our Xfinity Series for the Clippy 150 at Martinsville Speedway tomorrow, Thursday, April 8th at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come back, check us out for the Xfinity Series race.
Oh yeah, Jake. I don't know how many more hot dogs I can shove down the old gullet tomorrow night. So hopefully these boys keep it a little more green. But for everybody who watched this evening, all of our fans back at home and all of our drivers from Speed Racing Network, I'm Dean Brummett with my co-broadcaster Jake Rowell, reminding you to always go faster.